okay now? Now
Yeah.
yes.
Hello.
Now yes.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Hi. How are you doing, dear?
Finally, we can meet here. Mm.
Yes.
Oh, in
Yes.
red, you
Fine.
look so beautiful in red. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, dear. You're beautiful anyway.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you,
Anyway,
dear. Thank
let people know who you are. Introduce yourself a little bit, so other people
Yes.
know about you.
Okay. So I'm Nivi Magdi. I'm from Egypt. I'm Egyptian. I live in Egypt. I've been working as a teacher for like 17 years now as an English teacher. Uh,
17, 17,
yes,
17.
yes, that's
Hmm.
it. That's it.
Hmm.
So I find it so interesting to know or to teach even other non-Egyptian nationalities English, and I started to do it
Hmm.
lately. I like to practice English with non-native speakers. As I find it, it's interesting that the problem that each nationality find in learning English is quite different. You know, what
Yes.
Egyptian find, yes, every nations or every country has its own difficulties that they find in learning English. I find it's very interesting to know or to expose to all these English difficulties, and of course to know other people. As I like traveling, I like traveling. Okay, I enjoy traveling
Uh,
and exploring the world, and so this gives me, from business point of view, it helps me a lot. That the more I know what other learners could find as a difficulty in learning English, it helps me in my career to change my point of view in teaching. And on the
um,
other hand, I like making friendship from all over the world.
yes, this is what English all about. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, anyone. I'm Annie from Bali, Indonesia. I'm English lover, so there is nothing I'm today in here. I'm just love English. That's all. So well,
Yeah.
are you interested in English from you child? You interested in English since you still kid when you were kid?
When
Hello,
I
can
couldn't
you
get
hear
this.
me?
Yes. There's a
When you
problem with the
still,
connection.
uh, yeah, that's okay.
Well, go ahead.
I
Yes.
mean, did you interest with English since you still kid?
Yes, yes. Here in Egypt, we start learning English like in the age of 4 or 5. So we just learn it beside our first language. So it's quite not difficult for us to learn another
Uh,
languages. We took French too, but I find it so difficult to learn English to learn French. We took
yeah,
French
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yes, we took French.
The
But for me, French,
pronunciation is quite terrible
yes,
for me.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. It's yes,
yeah, yeah.
especially the vowels. They pronounce the vowels
Yes.
in a very different
Mhm.
way than English.
when when
So I
when
couldn't master it.
counting also when
Well,
counting also quite when
yes,
counting the
yes,
numbers
yes,
also,
yes.
just like
And Jetra,
unique,
yes. Yes,
really unique. So what your experience in teaching English? Are you teaching online or offline uh, before COVID-19? I mean, on daily basis.
of course, on daily basis, like from like 2 years now. I used to work for schools. Then, about 3 years ago, I stopped working for schools. I resigned and I opened my own business. Yes, I have an educational center. I may give you the
Oh,
page and the group of it. I'd like to have you on my group and on my page. I start to
sure,
work. I
sure.
have yes, I have my educational center before COVID.
Mm,
I teach English, and I have another partner who teach French too. But I don't listen to her. I don't listen to
mm-hmm.
her. I just get scared listen to her. So I have my own business teaching English offline and now online. I started the online service since the COVID. At the beginning, I thought that it's a matter of time. It's a temporary time. Then we're going to go back to the offline learning. But for now, I'm just working online till all
Mm.
these crises and nightmare are over.
So what your reason to love school in teaching English? Why you only interested in your own teaching? Why you left school? And so what interests you to build your own business?
In teaching, to leave teaching schools in a school.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I think that to be a teacher in school, you are restricted with a specific point of view. You can't use your own ways or tools of teaching. You know, I think teaching is very flexible. Every learner has his own needs. Not everyone like another. Some needs to develop his speaking skills. Others need to develop their listening skills. Other needs more vocab. So it's quite different. Whenever you are teaching in school, you treat all of them as just one body with just one need. And I find it wrong. I want to apply my own point of view of teaching English. That's
Mm,
why I find that yes, it's not applicable for all learners. I can't give them all what I want to give them, you know. So even at my educational centers, I treat with my students as individuals. Okay, they are uniques. They need
yes, yes,
and
yes, yes.
yes, their needs are uniques, you know.
Yes, true,
So
true.
yes, so whenever you treat them as one unit, you failed it. You failed it. So that's why I decided at some point I have to stop now. I have to apply my own point of view. And by the way, I'm very flexible all the time. I try to change it all the time according to the learner I have in front of me, according to even the updates, you know, because the learner's needs before the COVID and the offline learning is totally different now from the online. It has its pros and cons, you know.
Of
The
course.
physical, yes, the physical or the face-to-face learning is really more easy or easier than the online learning as we are doing
True,
now.
true, true.
But on the
Mm-hmm.
same time, it's a very casual learning, you know. You feel that you are not learning, you're just practicing it, you go for it. And this is one of the good points of the online learning.
Yeah, but
That's it.
anyway, how old are they? I mean, your your students are how old the interval between start from
Now,
mhm.
starting, okay, I start from like 4 4 years to the adults,
Mm.
all ages. Yes,
Oh,
yes, I
all
have students
ages.
all ages.
Okay.
Yes.
So as long as I join on learning English group, so I found many people having different issue, and when they are at school, elementary school, junior high school, senior high school, and after came out from the school, but they still stuck. They cannot speak. So what
Yes.
do you think about this? Which one you should improvise so we can get good result from student and get out from school and they can speak fluently. At least they know how to speak, but until now we didn't find anything. They just are still scared, having problem with Chinese, having burden in their mind. So what do you think makes this is happen?
Okay, I think it's about the way of teaching itself. It's not related to the learner. The thing that they give or they teach you the English language as a kind of theoretical subject, which is not. It's not about grammar. We teach it at school. They teach it at school like grammar and vocab and things which is solid. No, language is very flexible. It's like a sport. You have to practice it. If you don't practice it, you will lose it. If you don't use it, you will lose it. Okay? At school, they give you just grammar and vocab, and you have to answer this, and you have to memorize this, and this is wrong. It's all about teaching. You know what? If you don't know how to speak English and you travel to somewhere, okay, to America, to US, you don't know
Mm-hmm.
how. Within a month, you will be a native-like speaker. You don't know anything about grammar. You don't stand in a front of teacher that gives you instructions and exercises and so no. So it's all about practicing. If you keep practicing from this young age to on, you will have an
Yes.
amazing result. So it's all about practicing. You have to teach them
Mm.
that it's a language. It's not subject. It's not history. You know?
Yes.
No, no. It's a language. You have to practice it. You have to keep
Yes,
practicing
yes,
it.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Maybe at some point, some
Yeah.
of my students get a really advanced level, but once they quit practicing, they just lose it, you know. and we get back to the starting point. The point here is about practicing. You have to teach the kid that you have to practice it. You have to speak out loud. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. It's okay to
Yes,
make
yes,
mistakes.
true,
There
true.
is no shame here. This is not your first language. There is no shame here. You okay?
Yes,
We
true,
all
true,
have
true.
accents. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yes, like when at school they prioritize about the grammar rules and vocabulary, writing
Yes.
skill, less practicing. I think so. And then even though practice, but not that much like grammar rule, right? Only focusing on writing. And then when they came out, they never use their mouths, so become like, there is no elasticity,
Yes. Yes.
to train their mouth, to their muscle, and
Yes.
then get rusty, because they
Yes.
never use it, because languages
Of
is about
course.
to use it. All right.
Very,
So
very good point of view. Very good point of view. Lately, they know that one of the most effective ways of practicing your speaking is throughout reading. You have to read a lot. You have to read a lot. Keep reading all the time. This will help your muscle.
yeah.
The tongue is a muscle. This will help your muscle to have the flexibility needed to deal with the other language. Our mother tongue or our first language has its own place of articulation, which is totally different than English. Okay, so the tongue
True.
used to deal to speak with the first or your first place of articulation sounds. So
Yes, right.
you need to let your tongue practice the other place of articulation or the English place of articulation. If you don't find someone to practice English with, you have to keep reading out loud all the time. This will help you with your fluency. This will help you to improve the muscles of your face, as you know. This even will help you with the intonation.
Mm,
One of the secrets of
yeah.
the speak, yes, of the speaking fluently is the intonation too. So that's it.
Yeah. So what as long as you are teaching anywhere, online, offline, face to face, or whatever could be, so what their problems, their issue mostly that they have in your country, especially?
In our country, I think, as I told you, it's quite easier for them as we are having it here. We start teaching, so we start learning English from a very young age. So one of the most problem that we find that after you finish school and after you finish university, you just forget English as we don't use it at everyday basis. So you just forget it. You just stuck at some point where you forget everything. This is one
Mm,
problem. The other problem, some speaks with an accent. I find it very acceptable, by the way, to speak with an accent. But here it's influence on the business market. The more you don't have the more you don't have your first language accent, okay, and you dominate the native like accent, the more you get paid, okay. And I find it weird. At the end of the day, English is a tool of communication, not more. So this is one problem too. The others, they may find it difficult to understand a native speaker speaking, as we don't have native teachers here. They really get paid with a very higher salary, so you don't
yes.
find it them every day. Okay, they have the privilege of being native and they speak the native accent. So not every school can afford for paying for a native speaker. So whenever they speak or whenever sorry they listen to a native speaker, they don't understand them. Some
Mm,
find it very boring to just learn a bunch of grammar and vocab, and so they
yes,
hate English. And this is what I found, and this is what made me leave or resigned from schools, from teaching in schools. That's it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you get new way, innovation in learning English.
Yes, yes, of course, and
Yeah,
it must have a lot of fun. If you don't find
yes.
fun in learning, every
True,
even the
true.
adults, Even the adults will
True.
feel bored. Yes, and they will just
Yeah.
stop learning.
True. Yeah, because in learning languages, we I mean that need too long time in entire life, because this is with if someone asks how long time it takes to be fluent, oh, how to
Yes,
answer this, because
yes,
languages is evolve every single day, right? Like
yes.
slang or whatever could be. So that's why when we learning any languages, if we learn with passion, like
Of course.
learning with like learning with love, so
Yes,
we will do anything for love, isn't it?
yes,
So like always try to find a way
yes,
to always boost,
yes,
our to improve our English. Yeah, that's all.
yes.
And then so actually, what do you think, if English learner, or people who interest in English, but they still lack in anything, perhaps, they want to take university at abroad, perhaps, and then so what your suggestion for this? Do they need learning English with native or not? So actually, simply I can say, do you think that learning English with native English speakers is better than non-native? What do you think about this?
Okay, I think from my own point of view, if the non-native
Yeah,
speakers master the English language, they are the same now. Okay,
yeah,
so there's
mhm,
a privilege. There's a privilege that used to be given to the to the native speakers, and okay, they have this accent where no one else can get, and we put it as a model. No, at the end of the day, we use language to communicate. Once you can communicate in a proper way, I can understand you, you can understand me, so you do it right. You don't need to pay a fortune to a native speaker in order to just get classes or so. This is my own point of view. Once you are practicing or you're practicing your language with a speaker who master the language, you got it. Okay? You have everything you want.
mhm.
If you want to add another privilege to have the native accent or to be in native life, you have a lot of resources on the internet or YouTube or
True.
so to master the
Mhm.
accent or to change the accent.
Yes, that's right.
Um, Lately, even the most recognized non-native accent, the Indian accent, is now very recognized. Okay, it's one of the most recognized now all over the world. Okay, and everyone could understand it. So the native speakers don't find it something odd to have an accent. They expect it. Okay, and this is your unique identity. Okay,
Yes,
whenever
that's
I
true.
listen to you, if I don't see any space now and I listen just over the phone, I know, okay, Annie's from Indonesia, right? Okay,
Yes. Uh-huh.
or Japan or whatsoever. I recognize your identity, your culture from your own accent. At
Yes,
the
that's
same
right.
time, at the very same time, I can communicate with you properly. I can understand you, and that is the point. you know
True, true.
that's it.
This is the.
If you
Mhm.
So it's all about your identity. It's a very good thing. It's a very beautiful thing to have your identity speaking out of yourself.
Yes, that's right. So according me, accent can be changed. Accent just like shows us that where you came from
Yes,
and who you are, how knowledgeable you are, who surrounds you,
of
and
course.
how your personality. So like identity of someone. So yeah, for me as well, I never think, people always busy bothering themselves to become in British accent or American
Yes, yes,
accent.
yes.
Yeah, they always are fighting. Oh, I would like to sound like British.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm
Speak
I'm
like the
native.
queen.
Yes,
Speak like the queen.
I'm native as well.
Yes,
I'm native Indonesia.
yes,
I'm
yes.
not.
I have
Yeah,
this privilege. You have this privilege. We don't have it. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, and everybody say, "Oh, I would like to talk with native." Hey, I'm also native. I'm native Indonesia. So,
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's a
you know,
spirit girl.
yeah, I don't care. So that's why I speak like me. You know, just be yourself and be the best version of yourself. That's gonna be, you know,
Absolutely.
you are like precious to be just yourself. You know, so why should I like native English speaker? How they learn English? They learning English not from grammar rules.
Of
They by
course.
mimicking, you know,
Of course.
repeating when listening or other people speak. You know,
Yes.
so that's why when I'm talking typing with English native speakers, you know, they so frequently making mistake in grammar and
Of
spelling,
course. Of
you
course.
know. Yeah, when he said like, I don't want to lose you, I don't want to lose you, Lou, and like double O, you know.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh, so I'm just thinking, oh, this is native speaker is all about, you know. So I'm just,
Yes.
you know, you know, so yeah, because that is his first language, so that is not surprising me, right?
That's it. Personally, we don't use grammar. I don't use the Arabic grammar all the time while I'm speaking with my friends and my family. This even sounds weird, you know? I'm not going
Yeah,
to
but
use
they can
grammar as my official
understand.
language.
But they can
Yes.
understand, right?
And they
Mm.
still understand me. Okay? So
Yeah.
it's all about changing the way I at the beginning I thought it's only related to Egypt, this way of teaching. And whenever I know more learners from all over the world, I find, okay, oh my God, this is global issue here. Okay, they keep teaching grammar, they keep teaching vocab, and expecting the learner to be now. You have to speak out. Speak what? If you want to me just to tell you the grammatical rule, I'm going to tell you now. Okay, give me an exercise, and I'm going to solve it for you. But whenever it comes to speak, they just stuck.
True,
You don't
true.
yes, yes. So we have to change the way of thinking or how to deliver, or how to let them practice. You have to put them into the practice, and you have to practice in a fun way, a way that they will love it, just like what we are doing now. Okay, it's more like
Mm.
friendship, you
Yeah.
know.
Did you find do you find easy way? I mean, English environment in your place, perhaps to get in touch with English.
To I didn't get this question.
Yeah. I mean, did you find an easy way to get in touch with English staff, like to talk with perhaps with expatriate, perhaps, you know, and from abroad and working in your country, perhaps,
Yes,
and you can get in
yes,
touch.
of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, okay.
Uh, for a while, I was working with a native speaker. She was British. I was working at her educational center.
Mm.
I worked for her like for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
All the time, I try to get connected with teachers around the world,
Mm.
whether following them or trying to connect with them to change the experiences. I try to get certificates all the time, you know, that TESOL. And by the way, a very good thing happening lately. I try to attend lectures on Cambridge University. Uh, Before the COVID, I think it was impossible, okay, to attend seminar there. Now there's some kind of webinar they do it these days, so so teachers from all over the world can attend it, and I find it very useful. Okay, but this wasn't easy before the COVID time. So yes, I try to get connected to some native teachers, and yes, it's helped me, but not this
Mm.
extent. Okay, I think
Uh,
it's
uh,
overrated.
what do you feel at the what did you feel at the very beginning when at the very first time you get in touch talking with native speakers? What you feel at the time?
I feel okay. Now I'm doing a lot of mistakes. I have to think first before I speak. Oh my God, my mind is blank. I have to translate first what I was thinking about. Okay. Oh my God, I have just made a mistake. I hope that they don't notice it. Okay. All the time, this what was going into my mind. Taking into consideration inside the class, I'm speaking without thinking. Okay, I have no problem there. But for the first time, I started to speak to a native speaker. Okay, he is going to judge me now. It's not about judging. Okay? I think he's quite sure that I have a hell of mistakes. This is not my first language, so it's okay to make mistakes. And by the way, this is one of the first rules I try to teach to my students. I put it
Do
in
you
big
remember?
banner.
Do you remember who was talking with at the very beginning, at the very first time, a native speaker? Do you remember that?
I remember this because I was living in the Gulf at the beginning.
Who is
So
it?
I wasn't a
Where
teacher.
is it from? Where is it from?
From, I think he was British. Yes, he was. Yes, he was my father's colleague, and I have to talk to him over the phone. Can you imagine? The first time over the phone, and with a British native speaker. And I just feel cold. I freeze. I was like 16 years old. The first
Mm,
experience was over the phone, and it's known that over the phone is very difficult than the
true.
face-to-face communication.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
I was frightened out there. I was very young,
Uh-huh.
but I could manage it. At the end of the day, he understood me. He understood me, and that's great. Okay, he understood me, but I was really afraid. I was really afraid
But
of
this is
making mistakes.
actually, for academy, this is the key, this is the key because at the very beginning, everything is not easy, everything is difficult, but it
Yes,
must be done, and you did it.
yes,
If you
must be done.
already jump, take step, yeah. If you already took step at the very first time, and you pass it already, that
Yes, yes.
difficulty, because this is the key to boost your courage, boost your confidence to talk
Of
with native, all right?
course. Of course, you have to face your fears even in learning English. You have to face your fears. Okay, I am afraid I'm going now to talk to new people. I'm going to make mistakes. What are they going to judge me now and say I am foolish? No, it's not like this. Okay, just speak it out. Speak it out. They will understand you. It's okay to
Yes,
make
yes.
mistakes,
But
and you won't
sometimes,
learn
sometimes,
without making mistakes.
yeah, sometimes, the big trouble for learners is about their mind full with something unnecessary, because
Yes.
they're thinking about what other people say, mocking, but for me, perhaps because I don't know, I'm quite, I don't know, naive. I don't know what we call it. I don't think like I'm scared. I never feel scared, at the very beginning in talk
That's
with
it.
native. Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes.
never feel it.
I felt it. By the way, I felt it. The first time I meet you at David's Zoom meeting, that you have the courage to speak out. Okay, you have the courage to
Uh,
speak out. Okay, you don't afraid of making mistakes or so or sound like a native. No, 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 no. You don't afraid of doing this. And by the way, I find it so attractive. You know that you don't. Okay, she has the courage to speak out loud. She's not afraid of judgment. I'm just going to speak. And
mm.
as a teacher, I find it very attractive.
So
Okay.
where did you met teacher David at the first time?
I think on Instagram, I have a lot of. No, I
Ah,
know it from a friend. I know it from a friend,
yeah,
from
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Daisy. Yes, from
Yeah, I'm
one.
also.
Yes, from a common friend. She recommends him, and he's an excellent.
Oh,
By the way, he's an excellent coach.
yeah, I was met him on Instagram, so because I follow quite a few of English platform like English teachers,
Yes,
So at the time, teacher David is my first time on live stream on Instagram. Yeah,
yes.
so yeah,
Seriously.
so yeah, and he's how the way he spoke like loud and clear, easy to understand. That's yeah. So that's why, yeah. So what do you think? But for me, like learning English for learners, for me, just I think it's better to learn with a non-native speakers because they know how our
Yes,
first language. They know
yes,
how first
yes.
language. So sometimes they teach grammar properly, like perfectly, and but the thing that we should have to get in touch with native speakers is about if we want to know about what's going on
Of
in
course,
currently situation, like slang,
of
anything,
course,
and
of course. The
yeah,
slang
and
language,
we need,
especially the slang one,
yeah,
especially the slang language.
yeah,
But at the very same time, we are lucky these days because we have the internet. Even
Yes,
the slang and everyday language, you can find it and you can choose it and you
yes.
can learn it from the internet, YouTube,
And
or there's a
YouTube,
lot, there's a
yes,
health
yes, yes.
of sources. Watching movies, you can take, you can learn slang language from all these resources. So
Yes,
if
and
you find a native speaker, it's okay. That's good. If you don't find a native speaker, you have a lot of resources that can give you the slang language
yes.
you need to.
Mhm. But
That's it. So there is no
actually,
problem.
to boost our knowledge, like improvise anything, to improvise our listening skill. And I have to talk with natives, especially because at the very beginning, I was talking with people from Rhode Island, United States. At the very beginning, of course, I'm just like blank in mind. I don't know what he's talking about. And then day by day, I'm getting fluent to listen any accent, like Canadian, United Kingdom, or wherever
Yes.
they came from. Uh, that's the way. But to be honest, I never take any courses or spend any penny, to
That's
learn
it.
English. Yeah,
That's it.
you know.
That's it.
But I don't know why people. I think just only from here the problem
Yes.
come from,
Yes. That's it.
the
That's it.
mindset. All right.
That's it. If you want to learn it, you will learn it. Okay? Now you have all the resources needed to learn. It's all over
Okay.
the internet.
I'm sorry. This is already 31 minutes. One question, please. What do you think? How you define about what is fluency? What is fluency?
Fluency is knowing how to communicate in a proper way, to understand and to be understood. That's it. This is
Yes, yes.
my yes. This is my way
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah,
defining fluency.
true. This is essential, because
Yes.
fluency come from like flow. So the
Yes.
conversation go like
Excellent.
flowing.
Very good
Yeah.
point of view. Very good point of
Mm-hmm.
view. That's it. So whenever the conversation flew, so now you are fluent. That's it. This is
Yes.
my own definition of fluency.
Yes, it just like goes naturally, and without thinking
Excellent.
that much, and also being understood, and also like fluency doesn't mean we have to speak speedy, it's speedy to
Yes. Of
being
course not.
understand.
No.
Mm,
Of course not. Of course not. It's not
yeah,
about how fast do you speak. It's not about how do you master the native accent and so. No, no.
yeah, just
It's all
like
about
when we talking each other, when we can recognize when you start to stop and you start want to speak, we can recognize, we can
course.
like go flows and like dancing in good melody, just like
Course.
uh, and in harmony. That's
Course.
fluency,
The
that's
harmony. Yes. Very good point of view. Thank you. This is a very good point of view. That's it.
yeah, just like learning languages is beautiful, I love
Yes.
English.
Of
Yes,
course.
it's awesome. Oh, time flies talking to you. I'm really enjoy this
Me too.
conversation. Yeah,
Yes. I enjoyed even more. I enjoyed even
yeah.
more. You are
I
such a
hope
funny and lovable person.
I have. I hope this is not the last one. We
It
can
won't.
try the next time.
It
All right.
won't. Of course it won't. Of course it won't. It won't be the last
Thank
time.
you very much for your time, and
Thank you,
thank you for
Abby. Thank you.
everything, for your awesome English
Thank you, Sad.
contribution,
Thank you.
everything.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Sad.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you
My
for the
pleasure.
next one.
Thank you.
Okay,
Have a
bye
good
for
night.
now.
Good night, dear. Good night. Bye bye.